So part two on how my mother left me for a crackhead. If you didn't catch the first part, you might want to catch up. There's a lot of details in there. I'm not going to go over them again. I told y'all I got out the car after I told her that she could do better. She was really upset about that. I barely got any love back. So fast forward to the next week of school, and I'm knocking on the door to get a ride. It's locked again, and I don't get no response. I'm sitting like, what the freak? She comes out the room like an hour and a half later. I'm like, I need a ride to school. Like, oh, I didn't know. I figured you would find a way. Clearly, you have a problem with the fact that I said something about your mans. So now you're going to make it harder for me to go to school. Where's Kamala Harris? Because I'm telling you. So I hit my dad up about it and I say, listen, I wasn't going to ask. I don't want to ask, but can I stay with you in order to go to school? It's a little rocky over here at my house. And he says, sure, kiddo, come on over. So I go over to my dad's. I start going to school from there. The only thing is my father gets up at 3 to 4 in the morning, and I don't go to school until 8 to 9. School don't start until like 8:30 at the latest. So nobody wants to be sitting outside of school for that long. So I tell them I'll just ride my bike. At the time, it was getting to be the end of fall. So it was a little brisk outside, but it wasn't brick. So I was okay. But riding that bike from my father's house to the school, that took about 30 minutes. So after a while, about a week, it got tiring riding that bike all the way to the school. 30 minutes is a very long time to be pedaling as fast as you can. And I was falling asleep in class from waking up so early and riding the bike for all that time, and I was sweating. It just got really, really old really, really fast. Plus it was getting ready to be winter out, so I couldn't see myself like doing that any longer. I was at my friend's house one weekend and I was talking to them about what was going on at my house with my mother. And her brother, let's call my friend Samantha, her brother said, Samantha, why haven't you offered for her to stay with us yet? Don't you see she having a hard time at home? Samantha goes, oh, yeah, I guess you could stay with us. And some of y'all might be thinking, oh, yeah, she clearly didn't want you to stay with them. But I didn't have the discernment that I do today. So I didn't really know that that wasn't going to work out, which it didn't. But that is another story for another day. And I will tell it. But after it didn't work out there, I ended up going home and just kind of begging after my mother to drop me off to school. Then my basketball coach asked one of the girls on the team to give me a ride because my mom would take me to school, but she wouldn't pick me up for the basketball portion. Like if I went to basketball practice, she wasn't going to show up to get me. So one of the girls from the team, she would pick me up early in the morning. She would drive her mother's car all the way from by the school because they lived right down the block from the school. She'd drive her mother's car all the way from there to my house on the other side of town, pick me up, drive me back to their house very early in the morning, and we would sit there for about 30, 40 minutes and wait to be taken to school by her parents. She was all that. So back at home, John is in great spirits. He's suddenly the man that we all knew him to be. Either he's on the wagon or he's off the wagon, but either way, he's just like he was when we first met him. He's cleaning up around the house. He's in good spirits. He's cooking. He's mowing the lawn. Just being a man about it, I guess. So, mom's also in good spirits. She comes to me one day randomly and says, I found a place in, let's say, Iowa. We're gonna move there. It's really, really nice. It's big, and we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be so much better than it was here. I say, wow, okay. When you moving? Right after you graduate. Who? So I don't say nothing about it. I just let it ride because I know damn well you remember telling me that you were going to give me a ride to and from work. You were going to help me to get my stuff for college. This is my first year. And you were going to be the one to drop me off to see me off to college. It was an emotional thing and everything when we talked about it. But now suddenly you're leaving soon as I throw my cap in the air. So one day she calls me after school and I finally asked her, how is it that you think that it's okay for you to just up and leave? We had a conversation about you helping me during the summer, you know, go back and forth to work. You were going to see me off to college, so on and so forth. I'm just so tired of being here. I'm just ready to go. Like, I can't wait any longer. I said, but at the same time, it definitely feels like you're abandoning your family to go be with this guy. Like, what? I'm not abandoning y'all. Y'all are grown. I'm like, okay, but we talked about you being there. You said that you would. I didn't even ask. You volunteered. And I made plans based off you doing what you said you was going to do. You know what? I don't have to listen to this. You're not going to make me feel bad because I want to have a life of my own, so on and so forth. I said, you are abandoning your family for that guy. She going to say, John's my family now. So speak your truth, right? Thank you for saying exactly what you meant. That's exactly how it felt. And now you're telling me that's exactly what it is. For the rest of the time where she's preparing to move, I ain't helping with shit. I'm sitting there and she ain't asking me to help because she know damn well there's so many things that this lady has said that I done kept from everybody else. I don't say nothing, right? But my sibling comes up to me, my oldest sister, and says, why you ain't helping her move? You know she trying to get a new life started. Why is you hating? I said, her and I had an agreement. She was going to stay here and help me with this and with that. But at the end of the day, I don't owe you an explanation at all as far as what it is that I'm doing or I'm not doing. She going to say, oh, okay, whatever. Just messy as all get out. So I'm sitting there as they're moving everything in and out. By the time she was done moving, the three-piece sectional couch, gone. She replaced it. Her and John moved in this little tiny blue couch that was filled with bugs. I'm pretty sure those bugs came from John and his people house. Hey, listen, okay? Then the entertainment center was left, but of course there was no TV, there was no VCR, DVD set, nothing like that anymore. Inside the entertainment center, though, there was countless family albums, photo albums that she held so dear to her heart. She would go to the park and look at them crying and all of that, and she left them shits in that damn entertainment center. I guess she was for real about starting fresh. So the kitchen table, the chairs, most of the appliances, all that was gone. They took everything. Now, while I had lost a lot of things at 18, I gained a lease somehow. Without my knowledge or without my consent, my mother took herself out of the equation 100% and put my name on the lease, which I thought you had to sign for that, but I guess not. Now, of course, I figured it out. I figured it out. You know, God is going to always be with me. Always has been, always will be. But when I went to college a couple months after that, the lease remained in my name for some time. My brother stayed at that house that we were at, and he didn't pay no rent. And so it just kept racking up, putting debt on my shoulders that I didn't know I had.